Evan McGalpine reporting for Gooner Fanzine TV. Welcome to the very inaugural episode of the Arsenal Daily Digest, the only football Arsenal related show you can find on social media, on the Twitter sphere, on YouTube, that I present and analyse up-to-date Arsenal information, you know, the results at the weekend and all the rest of it, whilst I digest my stomach acid metabolises and breaks down what I've just had for dinner. You know, it's a clever title if you think about it. Sure, will be airing on a trial basis anyway. Bit of a shoestring budget at the moment, you know, a bit like, well, our apparent summer transfer war chest that we had, but we managed to stretch that out, as we saw over the course of the weekend with some of the new signings playing Ceballos, Luis, Pepe. We managed to stretch that out and get a bit more quality out of what we had at our disposal. And I can't promise that this will be highly polished. At the moment, as you can see, it's not. But this is the point of the Arsenal Daily Digest. I am the Couch Pundit, as it were. Yeah, I'm quite literally. I'm just. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So my match of the day studio, as it were, I'll show you about. It's a bit embarrassing, to be honest. It's my childhood bedroom. I do have my own flat. I don't live at home, I swear. It's a bit like Carl Jenkinson's bedroom, you know, those pictures that circulated after he signed for us. But maybe slightly more pathetic. Anyway, I'll show you about. Bear camp there, and get P-Days up there, and, you know, some other bits and pieces. But yeah, this will be the studio for today anyway, but we'll take this thing on the road. We'll take this thing on the road, because you don't know where I'm going to be having my dinner each day. Sometimes it'll be back home, sometimes it'll be in my flat, sometimes it'll be at work. Maybe sometimes I even treat myself to a nice restaurant and talk to my camera. So we'll be doing this, and I know you might be thinking, is this boy Scottish? This boy Scottish? Aye, I am. But you know, David Anskin, man, it chipped in a couple of shillings or whatever the fuck it was to initially start the Arsenal from that Woolwich munitions factory. Contribute the highest amount actually, so in many ways, the Arsenal is a Scottish institution. Aye, right. But let's crack on with the actual football-related business, the news. We'll crack on with that, and we'll digest it as I currently process the chicken Kiev I had for dinner. We beat Burnley 2-1 at the weekend, and I must say, like everybody else, was thoroughly impressed by Danny Ceballos. He looks a Wriggly little cunt, but in the best kind of way. Probably what we've been missing since Santi Cazorla left, to be honest. I don't think we've had a player of that ilk that can beat the press on his own. Usually we've had to pass our way through the press, and as we saw against Burnley actually, particularly from playing out from the back, we're still not entirely comfortable doing that. So having a wee guy that just does it by himself is quite valuable. So he had a blinder of a game, got man of the match of course. David Luiz, a man who has unkempt hair, not as unkempt as myself, but you know, I was quite impressed with him. I do think he is a sensible signing in a lot of ways, even though he might have the moment of madness in him that probably will cost us some points. We saw that back pass that he played across the box, that we will see that more this season. And I'm sure it will cost us chances and potentially points at some point this season. But what I do think he gives us outweighs the cons of his actual defensive ability, because I do think he was kind of slightly suspect for Ashley Barnes' goal as well. His marking wasn't as tight as it maybe could have been. But I do think his distribution from the back will be key to helping, when we're playing out from the back, beat the press, because when we do go forward, like we see, we can hurt teams.